Hey, welcome back to the Mr. Excel Netcast. I'm Bill Jelen. Now, yesterday we had a question from Ethan where he was trying to make some long data in column B show by optionally erasing some data in column C. And I just want to go through some simple alternatives to that. Now, I'm sure there's some reason why Ethan couldn't use these. The first one is just to make column B wider. All right, double click here between column B and C and it'll make the column wide enough to show the longest value. I'm suspecting Ethan couldn't do that because there's some values that are just way too long. But what we could do is select all of column B and we'll go to Format Cells. Control 1 is the fast way to get to Format Cells. And on the Alignment tab, we can have a setting there called Shrink to Fit. Shrink to Fit, what will happen there is when the data is really, really long, it will shrink it down to a smaller font size, maybe 6 or 8 point, in order to get it to fit so we can see all of that data. That way, you still have the data out in column C, but you can still see your values. Now, the other way to go, and here I have an identical copy of the worksheet, is to turn on Wrap Text. We'll turn on Wrap Text in column B, so I'll select all of column B, go back to Format Cells. On the Alignment tab, we'll have to turn on Wrap Text, and what will happen there is it will create rows that are basically double high in order to make all of our data fit. The one thing that I hate about Wrap Text, though, is then the other columns are aligned with the bottom of the cell when I really feel they should be aligned with the top of the cell. So we'll choose column A and column C. Use Format Cells and say that we want to use the vertical alignment to the top. Click OK and things get aligned at the top. Now this is one example where it's fairly difficult to go through and wrap text and then change vertical alignment to the top. And for those of you using Excel 2003, you probably don't remember this day, but about 2 or 3 days after you started using the product, a little question popped up and said, hey, would you like to make Excel better? And if you clicked yes to that, then you've been participating in a large research study that basically tells which commands you use and how often. And so in Excel 2007, they were able to look through that data and realize that a lot of people are using wrap text, and then after they use wrap text, they immediately go through and use vertical alignment top on the other values. And so here in Excel 2007, I really appreciate that Microsoft took the time to look at that data and see that wrap text is something we use all the time. So if I choose column B, now we actually have an icon right on the home ribbon called Wrap Text. We've never had an icon before. It wasn't even something you could add to the standard or formatting toolbars. So I can very easily wrap text, and then I will select all 4 columns and use the vertical alignment top. This is another button that we never had before. We always had to go into Format Cells in order to do the top align. So there you have it, a couple of options. 1, make the column wider. 2, use Shrink to Fit in order to make those long cells fit in column B. Or 3, turn on Wrap Text in column B and then use vertical align top in the other columns to make things line up. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time for another netcast from Mr. Excel.